children. Welcome to our social science class in 6th standard history. Continuity of the lesson, term 3, unit 2, the post-Mauryan India. Now we are going to see Indo-Greeks, Indo-Parthians, Sakas and Kushanas. Indo-Greeks and Indo-Parthians. After the conquest of northwestern India and the Punjab region, Alexander the Great left the conquered territories under professional governors. Two of its eastern satrapies, Bactria and Parthia, revolted under their grace governors and declared their independence. The satrapy of Bactria became independent under the leadership of Deiotarus and Parthia under Arasus. After the decline of Mauryan Empire, the great ruler of Bactria and Parthia started encroaching into the northwestern border land of India. The Bactrian and Parthians settlers generally intermarried and intermixed with the indigenous population. This facilitated the establishment of Indo-Greeks and the Indo-Parthian colonies along the northwestern part of India. Contribution of Indo-Greeks. Coinage. Indo-Greeks ruler introduced a die system of produced properly shaped coin with inscriptions, symbols and engraved figures of them. Indians learned this art from them. Next we are going to see sculpture. The Gandhara school of Indian art is heavily indebted to Greek influence. The Greeks were good cave builders. The Mahayana Buddhists learned the art of carving out caves from them and became skilled in rock cut architecture. Next we are going to see rulers of Indo-Greeks. Demetrius I. He was the son of Greco-Bactrian ruler Euthydemus. He was king of Macedonia from 294 to 288 BCE. Numismatic evidence proves that Demetrius issued bilingual square coins with Greek on the obverse and Kharosthi on the reverse. Next we are going to see Menander. He was one of the best known Indo-Greek kings. He is said to have ruled a large kingdom in the northwest of the country. His coins were found over an extensive area ranging from Kabul Valley and Indus River to western Uttar Pradesh. This Nalanda is identified with Menander. Menander is believed to have become a Buddhist and promoted Buddhism. Ruler of Indo-Parthians. Indo-Parthians came after the Indo-Greeks and the Indo-Scythians, who were in Indo defended by the Kushanas in the second of the 1st century AD. Indo-Parthians kingdom or dynasty was founded by the daimon of Indo-Parthians comprised Kabul and Gandhara. Next we are going to see Shakas. The Indo-Greeks rule in India was ended by Shakas. Shakas as nomads came in huge number and spread all over northern and western India. The Shakas were against the tribe of Turki nomads. Shakas were Scythians. Shakas were Scythians, nomadic ancient Iranians and known as Shakas in Sanskrit. Shaka rule was founded by Mogan in Gandhara region, and his capital was Srikap. His name is maintained in Mora inscription. His coins bear images of Buddha and Shiva. Rudradaman was the most important and famous king of Shaka. His Junahat Girnar inscription of the first inscription in caste Sanskrit. In India, the Shakas were assimilated into Indian society. They began to adopt Indian names and practice Indian religious belief. The Shakas appointed Shakrapas or satraps as provincial governors to administer the territories. Next we are going to see Kushanas. The Kushanas formed a section of the Yuchi tribes who inhabited northwestern China in the remote past. In the 1st century, the Yuchi tribes were composed of 5 major sections, of which the Kushanas attained political ascendancy over the others. By the beginning of Christian era, all the Yuchi tribes had acknowledged the supremacy of the Kushanas. They had shed their nomadic habits and settled down in the Bactrian and Parthian lands adjacent to the northwestern border of India. The Kushanas overran Bactria and Parthia and gradually established themselves in northern India. Their concentration was mostly in the Punjab. Takshashila and Madura continued to be great center of Buddhist learning, attracting students for China and Western Asia. Next, we are going to see the Kushana kings. Kanishka. Kanishka was the greatest of all the Kushana empire. He assumed the sovereignty in 78 AD and proclaimed his rule by the foundation of a new era, which later became Shaka era. The Kushana capital initially was Kabul. Later it was shifted to Pushpara or Purushpara. Conquest. Kanishka conquered and annexed Kashmir. He waged a successful war against Mahatha. He also waged a war against the ruler of Parthia to maintain safety and integrate in his West Empire on the western and southwestern border. After the conquest of Kashmir and Gandhara, he turned his attention towards China. He defeated the Chinese General Panjia and safeguarded of the northern borders of India from Chinese intrusion. His empire extended from Kashmir down to Banaras and the Vindhya mountain in the south. It included Kashgar, Yargand, touching the borders of Prussia and Parthia. Next we are going to see religious policy. Kanishka was an ardent Buddhist. Kanishka Empire was a Buddhist empire. Kanishka adopted Buddhism under the influence of Ashvakosha, a celebrated monk from Padaliputra. Through a great war and an empire builders, Kanishka was an equal as they expanded the champion of Mahayana. Kanishka made Buddhism as the state religion and built many stupas and monasteries in Mathura, Taxila and many other parts of his kingdom. He sent Buddhist missionaries to the Tibet, China and many countries of Central Asia for the propagation of Buddha's gospel. He organized to the fourth Buddhist council of Kundalavana near Srinagar to sort out the difference between the various schools of Buddhism. It was only in this council that Buddhism was split into Hinayanams and Mahayanams. Next we are going to see art and literature. Kanishka was a great patron of art and literature. His court was enthroned with a number of Buddhist saints with scholars like Ashvagosha, Vashumitra and Nagarjuna. Ashwagosha was the celebrated author of the first Sanskrit play, Buddha Sarita. He founded the town of Kanishkapura in Kashmir and furnished the capital of Purushapura with the magnificent public public buildings. The Gandhara school of art flourished during his time. The most favorite subject of Gandhara artist was the curving sculpture of Buddha. Buddhist learning and culture was taken to China and Mongolia from Takshashila. The great Asian culture mingled with the Indian Buddhist culture during the Kushana's time. Kanishka's successors were weak and incompetent. Kushana's empire rapidly disintegrated into number of small principalities. Next we are going to see rulers and contributions. First, Confucius first. He was the first famous military and political leader of the Kushanas. He overthrew the Indo-Greeks and Indo-Parthian ruler and established himself as a sovereign ruler of Bactria. He extended his power in Kabul, Gandhara and up to the Indus. Second one, Confucius II. He maintained friendly relationship with the Emperor of China and Rome and encouraged trade and commerce with the foreign countries. Some of coins contained the inscribed foreign of Lord Shiva and his imperial titles were inscribed in the Kharosthi languages. This lesson for completed. Thank you, students.